Why would the Prophet ﷺ tell us in hadith that shaving your head after Umrah is 3 times more rewarding than just simply trimming it? Why would Allah the All-Wise give us 3 times more of His mercy for just shaving our heads? This will relate in a second, bro. Just wait, I know your attention is broke. Obviously, there are many reasons, like humility, but I believe the one I'm gonna tell you is the one that will make you more productive, do more active worship, and become the person you truly want to become. Bro, chill. I told you. Why are you clicking off? Right now, pretty much the only thing holding you back is your identity. I mean, if you identified as that guy who went to the gym right after school, who prayed all of his prayers in the mosque, who was learning tajweed in his free time instead of scrolling on social media, you would have already been that guy. But you're not. That's why you're here watching this video. So you need to change your identity. Because if you don't, then you'll just stay where you are. You'll be the same guy who on the weekends is excited to turn on his PS4, play video games. And then it's too late, and the angel of death is right behind you. And that Asr prayer you didn't focus on was the last one. There is barely any time left in your youth. And is this how you want to spend it? But if you cannot bear this thought of staying the same person, returning home on the weekends and just playing video games, and then at 3 a.m. when you have that headache from playing too much video games and you just want to sleep so badly, so you go to bed without brushing your teeth, and guess what? You don't even sleep. You just open your phone again. You don't even close your phone. Ever since you turned off the PS4, you just turned on your phone, you open YouTube, and you just watch YouTube because you can't bear the thought of living this way over and over again. So you distract yourself. So you go to bed and you have your phone right there with you, and instead of sleeping, you just continue binge watching even more videos, but you're not even having fun watching. You're just like this. If you want to make that dream closer to reality, then you need to become the type of person who is in that life. Imagine the habits potentially you would do in your potential life. Are his habits and your habits the same? No, his are way better. He reads more Quran. He prays with more khushu'ah. He goes to the masjid every prayer and doesn't even miss Fajr. He wakes up easily. His habits are way ahead of you. This shouldn't demotivate you and you're like, I should have done this instead of play video games, and now you're just gonna dungeon ball video game. The best time to start is now, instead of never starting. So don't fall in this loop of I've played video games, I'm a failure, I'm doing nothing with my life, so I play more video games because I'm a failure and I'm doing nothing with my life, and you just continue this loop down to the spiral until you most probably commit suicide. This should motivate you because now you realize you have so much potential inside of you that you still have not shown to the world. You have so much more potential than just leveling up in Fortnite and finishing the battle pass. You are worth way more than video games and social media. So you need to start now. This Ramadan is the best time to reset your life. And you cannot improve your habits without improving your identity, which is why I believe one of the pieces of wisdom behind shaving in Umrah is shedding your old identity. Allah says in the Quran, indeed Allah will not change the condition of a people until they change what is in themselves. Imagine using a toy shovel to dig a hole, the same shovel you used to play with on the beach when you were a kid. Now you cannot use that same shovel to dig a well. You simply can't. Now you're trying to do this very good, very productive habits, but you just can't because you're still a plastic shovel, and this is the level of a drill. You need to change that plastic shovel into a drill, and you need to change yourself into a better person who does these habits. So you shouldn't just change the habits itself, but you need to change your identity as well. You need to identify with these habits. Book Atomic Habits, the author mentions how changing your habits depends greatly on just changing your identity. It makes sense. I mean, imagine someone who used to vape before. Now he says to himself, I'm trying to quit vaping. And then after some peer pressure from his friends, he would return back to his old ways because his identity is not someone who doesn't vape. Now imagine another person who tells himself, I am not a vapor. After a lot of peer pressure, he wouldn't give in, no matter how much peer pressure, because he doesn't identify with vaping anymore. Like a Muslim's identity is that he doesn't drink, which is why you'll never see a religious Muslim accidentally fall into drinking, because it's not his identity. But you'll see many Muslims fall into smoking because some say it's not haram. It's not as dangerous or prohibited in Islam as drinking. Muslims who do actually fall into drinking fall into it because they don't closely identify with Islam. They're more distant from Allah, so they don't have that Muslim identity of not drinking. So I'll tell you 5 things you need to do to actually change your identity. Quick thing, if you like and comment, YouTube will just naturally push this video to more young Muslim brothers like you who need this to change their life. So number one is to shave your head. You know why I'm smiling is because your brain already denied this. I mean, I am just a 16-year-old with a phone filming himself and uploading to YouTube. But I already told you the hadith. I already told you why it's significant in Umrah. I can't convince you more than that. Now, obviously, you won't get rewards for it, just so you don't say this is bid'ah or whatever. I am not saying you will get rewards for shaving your head. It will just change your identity, and then you can do more acts of worship. Shaving your head will just give you a massive identity change. And if you want extreme success, you yourself need to be extreme first. Now, obviously, you can still get success without shaving your head, but this just gives you a head start ahead of your competition. Now, you don't need to fully shave, you can just make a very big change to your hairstyle. You don't like my hair, bro, do you? Imagine if your competition is just that extreme guy who does these extreme things. Just expect to be destroyed by him. Honestly though, it's very difficult. Like I did it for Umrah, like a very genuine reason, for the mercy of Allah, and it was very difficult. You probably won't take action on this step, but you will return back to your old ways. And when you do, you will remember this video and actually start considering this advice. So why not just do it from now, bro? Like, save yourself the trip. Something I forgot to mention in shaving your head is to grow your beard, even though it looks very bad right now because I have this and then this and then this and then. It looks bad obviously with a shaved head. Now it's alright, yani, it blends in. But yeah, you have to grow your beard. So number two is to, yeah, correct. I'm good at math. Number two is to, how childish am I? Number Number two, well, I can't say number two. Let me just rephrase. Number two is getting a watch, or that counter thing. This thing. If you visualize yourself in the future living a good life, would he be wearing a watch? Most probably yes. Why not just start from now wearing a watch? Start becoming your future self from now. And then this counter thing is just to remember Allah. Honestly, you don't need the actual counter thing, you just need something to remind you to do dhikr. Be that guy who just wears this thing everywhere. Every time he's free and not talking to anybody or doing anything, he's just doing dhikr. Allah said, O believers, always remember Allah and glorify Him morning and evening. He is the one who showers His blessings upon you, and His angels pray for you, so that He may bring you out of darkness and into light. For He is ever merciful to the believers. Their greeting on the day they meet Him will be peace, and He has prepared for them an honorable reward. So just imagine if that's us, the ones who will have that honorable reward. In a hadith Qudsi, meaning it's the words of Allah and then the Prophet ﷺ said it. Part of the hadith is, I am with him as he remembers me, and if he remembers me in his heart, I also remember him in my heart. And if he remembers me in assembly, I remember him in the assembly better than he does that. That's just crazy, man. Number three is to quit social media. Okay, it's another one of those where your brain already denied. It's tough, I'm not gonna lie. It was for me 1.5 years ago. I was debating so much in my head whether I should quit Instagram or not. Like, bro, I'll miss messages. How can I speak to my friends? I'll miss the news. I'll miss important football stuff. How will I be able to quit Instagram? And here I am, 1.5 years later. 1.5. 1.5 years later, I'm good. Actually, I'd say I'm way better than 1.5 years before when I did have Instagram. My dopamine receptors aren't fried. I don't check Instagram every 5 minutes and like you keep opening it and you have no message. And then 5 minutes later you open it again and you have no message. That's such a sad life, bro. Like, oh. And I watched tons of videos on people who quit social media. And like you can do this as well. You will literally find nothing negative. Nobody complains, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Nobody does that. Everybody's more happy that they quit social media. Like, you can go and watch them yourself. It's so addictive. That's why it's so difficult to quit. And these evil companies hire literally psychologists and behavioral scientists and stuff you never heard about to make it as addictive as possible, so that you keep scrolling, so that you keep returning to their app, because money is not their currency, it's your attention. Advertisers pay Instagram to get your attention. You're the product. They have no mercy. They don't care about you at all. The solution to messaging most of your friends, like after quitting Instagram, you'll realize most of the people you actually texted weren't your friends. Anyway, you can just use WhatsApp or Messenger or whatever. I might make a more detailed guide on how to block social media. I don't know if I should. Comment if I should. Anyway, there's like a 99% chance you see a woman when you go onto social media, and you need to lower your gaze as a Muslim man. So why would you just expose yourself to that? Why are you okay with getting sins this easily? And there's almost always background music in every YouTube short. Of course, you can't quit them all forever, except TikTok and Instagram, and those are forever, non-negotiables. YouTube is still a social media, but I think it can truly be beneficial if you consume content the right way. Like, there are so many Islamic lectures and stuff that you could consume, but instead you choose to watch the Sidemen or people playing video games, you know? Or anime. Anime? Anime? Okay, I don't know. I haven't watched anime ever. I'll show you the way I consume YouTube in that guide as well. If you want to go more extreme, this is gonna sound crazy, you can switch to a Nokia, like I did. It's right here. I temporarily switched back because I needed the data. Well, I won't say this to you because you're gonna use that as an excuse, and you don't need the data. I just needed it for a Kareem bike and stuff. You never actually do need the data. I've used it for, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks, and I never once needed to use my phone. So if you want to go extreme, switch to this. I'll take you through it anyway, bro. So number 4 is to set goals. Now usually I would have told you to set goals that are like, that's Quran related, like uploading an Islamic YouTube short every day, learning tajweed, stuff like that, you know. So in the next video I'll give you the actual routine you can follow. So the goals you can set are finishing the Quran twice. Like, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna watch YouTube videos how the 30 chapters relate to each other, because I didn't even know they related to each other. You probably didn't either. Like, you thought it was just a surah and then a surah and then a surah, but it's like a traffic light. There's a red light, a green light, and a yellow light, but they all relate. It was a wrong order with any. You get me? They all relate. Basically, you're just gonna focus on the Quran. Honestly, I'll just set the goals for you. Finish the Quran twice and learn how the chapters relate to each other. So you're gonna do sadaqah, no matter how little the amount. Fourth goal is you're gonna pray every single prayer in the masjid, and you're gonna attend the tarawih as well. And you will make at least 5 minutes of that. Like, it should be more like 30 minutes every day. But like, for you, I'll make it easier for you. If you want to like challenge yourself more, 30 minutes. 15 minutes right before Maghrib, the time where dua is most accepted, and right before Fajr. Actually, there was a hadith where the Prophet ﷺ said, Allah descends every night to the lowest heaven when 1/3 of the first part of the night is over, and says, I am the Lord, I am the Lord. Who is there to supplicate me so that I answer him? Who is there to beg of me so that I grant him? Who is there to beg forgiveness from me so that I forgive him? He continues like this till the day breaks. So be sure to make dua in specifically these 2 times. These are the 2 best times for dua in Ramadan. So you choose 5 minutes of dua or 30. Now this is like a 2-part serious thing. So this video focused more on changing your identity, and the next one will be on changing your daily routine. I'll give you the exact step-by-step daily routine you should follow to make this Ramadan better than the last. Way better. Get a piece of paper, write down the goals I just told you. So write all of those goals down like this. I'll do that as well. And don't forget to write down your actual goal in life and your true purpose. I think you just wrote down is just a milestone. Something like this. Now this isn't like, I'll probably take this down to focus more on the framework, and then you can just stick eyes like this. This is what the next video is about. Stick up things like this, bro. Just stick up things. And actually stick to it. And then write down what motivates you. How you know you're meant for more than just scrolling on your phone for 6 hours. You're meant to do more than just level up in video games. That you have the potential to do way more than you're just doing. And how you don't want to ever return to this life, to your current life. How you want to become a totally different person who never procrastinates. Describe the person in your dream life and become him. Don't wait until like you think there's gonna be a time when you just suddenly become your dream person. You won't. You need to start acting like your dream person from now. You might not achieve your goal simply because it wasn't Allah's plan, but you should still strive for it. My previous video is all about that. And remember, this is a two-part series, so subscribe so you don't miss out on the next one.
Bye, bro.